Hello and welcome to my first video. Hopefully we'll upload it to YouTube, and you can see I've sort of been inspired by the likes of Allotment Diary and his videos, Rick Van Man, and Sean as well, Sean's Allotment Garden. So what I'm just going to do today is give you a little introduction. The introduction will take you around the bottom part of my garden, all that, so you can actually see. I might prattle on a little bit. Sorry about that, but that's just sort of very first video, so sort of a little bit nervous. So we'll see how it goes. Well, okay. Here we are inside my greenhouse. You can see here we've got some. There's some peppers, chili peppers there. Scotch bonnets, 3 of them, and there's also a cayenne pepper. Only one seemed to germinate this year, so that's the sum total. So, as I say, got some Scotch bonnet, some chilli. Over this side we have 3 sweet peppers, because I'm not a fan of chili peppers and that, but I also like sweet peppers in there. So, got that. Along here, this is a big bed, a sort of self-watering bed that contains my sweet basil. I use sweet basil a lot. Especially to do with tomato soup. I make tomato and basil soup, so always find basil comes in handy, so I've got quite a lot of there. This is a hose lock, self-watering. You sort of water down at this point here, fill it up, and as you can see on this dial here, it's in theory tells you what it does. It's got underneath, it's got some fabric that comes up and goes into the soil, and you can see it here, these spikes here, it's just below there, so it seems to be doing not too bad. If we go down here, I've got another one just here, as you can see, it's another one designed for tomatoes. It doesn't seem to be as effective as the one over here for the basil. I don't know why, but you've got to try these things each year. So at the moment here, we've got 2. Slightly different. One is designed for the grow bag, like so, whereas that one there is designed as a big pot you put compost in. So, as I say, we'll see how things go with them. New thing, never saw them before, tried them. We'll see how well they go. Further on the greenhouse down here, what we've got down here is some leeks. I learnt this from a gentleman who runs the allotment website, the www.allotment.org.uk. I forget his name at this point in time. When I watched one of his videos to do with his leeks, he did them like this, put them in a pot like that and all that, let them grow until they were pencil thickness, and then when they were pencil thickness, he then took them out and started breaking them up, put them big clumps of it into a bucket of water to break the leeks apart rather than pulling them apart, and saw what. And then gradually planted them. So thought, well, we'll try that. Never tried it. I tried it in a round pot last year. Never tried them this many, so we'll see how well we go. What else is in the greenhouse is I have 3 tomato plants down here. Try and go 3 different types in the greenhouse, sort of that, because not much space in the greenhouse. So we've got Gardener's Delight, but a cherry type. We've got Alicante, which is more a sort of medium sized one. At the end we've got one called San Marzano, which is a plum tomato. First time trying plum tomato, so thought we'd give it a go and see what happens. If we come round further, we've got some stuff just sort of in the little pots. At the back we've got Little Gem lettuce, sort of the second lot to go out. You'll see them a little bit later in the raised beds. So we've already got one lot out, so this is the second lot. So try and stage it several bits apart so that we can actually get, throughout the year we can have several lots of lettuce, so we don't have just one massive bulk of lettuce. That's my peas, continuing, as you can see, some of them in varying scales of growth. So you've got several there. They should hopefully go out soon. In here is French beans. This is my second lot of trying to do it. The first lot just didn't germinate at all, and they've actually rotted, so we'll see if anything happens of it. Compost hasn't been great this year, so And I know that other people have said that compost hasn't been great, but we'll try it and we'll see what happens. Down here we have, this here is some cauliflower. I've already planted some out. This is just another lot, sort of to spread it slightly apart. And at the front we've got some cabbage, doing the same thing. The last things that are growing in the greenhouse, these 3 pots are for my little lad Gregor. Naturally, kids want to get involved, and I'm very much for that. This is sunflower seeds that are in here, so we're just doing them. Yeah. If they all germinate, that's good, then you'll have 3 sunflowers to try and see how well they can get them grow. But we'll wait and see. Right, so what we'll do is we'll head outside, and you'll be able to see. Right, down here we have got outside cucumbers, sort of the more rich variety of cucumbers. So I planted 4, thinking that only 1 or 2 would germinate, but all 4 germinated, so actually decided just to keep them, all 4 of them. So we could have lots of them, or not very many. Let's continue around here. What I've completed just here is a frame for my outside tomatoes. What you'll see is I've currently got a big frame, all tied up. I've got them all in. What I've got is 4 Gardener's Delight there. You know, some further ahead than others. Then I've got 4 Alicante, then 2 plum of the San Marzano, and I've got 2 yellow ones, new one for me. These ones here are called Yellow Stuffer, so we'll see what it's like. We'll try it and see what happens. You've got to try these things, I think. If it don't work, then well, try it differently next year. If you want to, if you don't want to, then just try something totally different. Right, so that's the tomatoes there. So what I'll now do is take you through. It's a new build property, so because of it being a new build property, the ground is absolutely rubbish. So in here we've got raised beds. As you can see, we've got raised beds with protection. These protections, idea came from the allotment diary. I think a gentleman named Dan, and he had developed these. He put netting over them, but because last year I had very bad damage caused by caterpillars, so I've decided to go for something that's really fine. This is Enviromesh, and all it is a 2x2 frame, some blue water pipe, and a Enviromesh on top. So in this one here we have got some cauliflowers, so we've got 9 in there, so I'll be working on the square foot, I think. So we've got another 6 to go in that one. Same thing in here. This is a cabbage. You know, we've got here 9 in here. That got a space for another 6 as well. What you'll probably notice is that we've got the blue slug pellets in here rather than I prefer to use a Growing Success more organic type one because of the pets that are in the garden as well as the youngest child. But the Growing Success don't seem to work quick enough, especially for my lettuce, which we'll see in a little bit. So under these, because these are all protected, the idea is to try and use this one, see if that works quicker to sort of kill the slugs and snails before they start eating all the plants. So we'll continue on. You'll see my lettuce in a few minutes and you'll see what I mean. So along to here, got some French beans in here. Some, as I say, some French beans. A few more to go in there soon. Hopefully, if they germinate okay in the greenhouse. Some Brussels sprouts there, and some rocket. Take you around here before going through all the onions and that. We'll go around here. What we've got here is some some peas, but more designed to try and do them as a mange too. So try and get them off there before they actually start bulking up. Fancy that rather than just normal peas. And in here, this one here, we've got some radish. So So we've got some radisson there. We'll see that, you know, done 3 sort of rows and that. We'll see how it goes, that, and just try something else. So in here we've got some squash. As you can see, the middle one, something has taken a quite liking to the leaves, but I'm trying to use the, as I say, the Growing Success forget my memory for a second, the Growing Success slug pellets. So the problem is that's what we've got to use outside, that are not protected, so we'll see if it does. You know, it had a little nibble, don't seem to have had another nibble, so we'll wait and see. Let's continue around here. Oh. Right, in here is my courgettes. Love courgettes, so I've got 3 of them, 3 plants here, in here. Because of limited space, from the size of the bit at the bottom of the garden, we have a lot of stuff in sort of planters and bags. So here we have 3, just recently gone in. If we go down close to it, you can see that they're starting to just get little heads as if the flowers are going to come. So we'll see how it goes. Right, and go along here a little bit, and these are the potatoes. This one just starting to bear. And this one, last year I tried Charlotte, suffered from blackleg on them, which wasn't very impressed with that. This time we are using one called Maris Pear. Apparently it's better resistant to blackleg. Not so much to blight, but not really suffered from blight yet, so we'll just continue. We've got 6 bags there. You know, that one there, if you look at that one, that's really starting to, you know, don't think there's any flowers appearing yet, so, but it seems to be doing okay, so we'll see how it goes. Right, and we'll go down here. What we've got here is my fruit area. This is a raspberry cane. I bought a pack that had 3 raspberry canes in it. Sadly the other 2 just didn't seem to do, they just sort of died off, so I don't know if they were dead before I got them or something. As you can see, it looks as if we're starting to get some bits just starting, see, just there. So let's hope so. Nothing like a nice bit of fruit in the summer. So in this one, this is a tayberry. Interesting, and it's sort of, having read up on it, it's sort of more longer than a normal raspberry, but apparently it suffers from being quite soft when you cultivate them, so not a common thing for farmers to grow, but hey, yeah, let's try it and see what happens. So over here I have quite a few strawberry plants. What I do with this is I put them in these 3 pots, and I put them 4 high, so I can get sort of 12 strawberry plants. As you can see over here, if we go over here, the flowers are starting to appear, you know, and as naturally happens, aphids and things like that want to take a liking to it. So yeah, already, as you can, if you go down and close, you can see little things starting to take a liking to the plants. It's a constant battle, but hey, it's just the way it is. So right, so I'll show you some of what we've got here is quite a number of beds that resorted to onions and garlic. So this bed here is completely onions here. Over here, this had predominantly onions in it, but there was a few garlic left over, so I tried to do them, but they just did not seem to have done this year. And if we go to this one, this is all garlic. Out of about, must have been about 30 garlic that were put in there, you can see we've probably only got about 10. But hey, watched a few videos, got a few suggestions now for next year how to do garlic, especially probably more from Dan at the Allotment Diary. So we'll see what happens. In this one now, this is a very interesting bed at the moment. it has parsnips in it. But my problem I have is, let me just lift it up so you can see better. Just put it there. Is knowing which ones are weeds and which ones are garlic. Sorry, not garlic, parsnips. See, I'm so confused that even I'm getting my vegetables wrong. As you can see, there's different ones, you know, and I'm just sort of struggling slightly to know which one's which. I'm minded sort of to leave them till they grow a bit bigger, so they'll more definitely know which ones are which. But hey, we've got to keep trying it, you know, and see what happens. You know, they've planted quite a number on both sides, so we'll just leave it that and see what happens. Right, well that's about us. What I'll do is I'll go up to the top of the garden and then show you and down, so you can actually get an idea of how everything fits. So let me just go back and then you can. So this is the bottom of my garden. As you can see, we've got it sort of separated so we can have a decent sized garden still, but still have all these vegetables. Right, I did promise you I would show you my lettuce, and I nearly forgot all about it. Now let me just lift the protection frame up and show you. Right, this is my lettuce. Let me just go a little bit further back. There, that's probably better. As you can see, there's only 2, 4, 6, 8 in there. I did plant 12. Oh, the cat's come to have a little nose at, thinking, oh, that would make a nice litter tray. And that was the other reason for building the frames, for because of that. So that's Brooke, our rescue cat, and all that, thinking, oh, I quite like that. So yes, going back to the lettuce. So I've already lost 4 out of my 12 to the slugs or snails. So as I hear, I'm using the blue slug pellets, not the ones that really you don't want to have around kids and things like that. But because it's under protection, I feel happy enough to do that. I wouldn't normally use them, but I've got to try and kill them, because otherwise that bed will turn into a feeding ground for the snails and slugs. So that, and I've only got one final bed, and that's carrots here. So let me just lift this up, and you can see, as you can see, carrots are beginning to show. You know, seem quite late at the moment, but we definitely are gradually getting them. Yeah, they look alright. Right, I've got one final thing to show you. And I had sort of did it on my tweet, Twitter account, to say about this. Oh, before I do that, let me show you. That's me rhubarb, very first year of growing rhubarb. As you can see, it's gradually growing. Might not get anything this year because of how small they'll probably be the first year. Not, but hey, and this big pot here, this bag I should say, is my asparagus. Now the problem is, I don't know whether the asparagus is gone too far, because it's really sort of trying to grow to the moon. So don't know whether just to leave it. This is its second year, but so I'm not too sure whether just to leave it, and we'll see what happens. Right, finally, and I promise this is finally this time. I used to have this one here as my compost bin, but I bought this one here called Tumbler. Quite ingenious, as you can see inside. Lots of rotten matter in there. Pop the lid shut, like so. And in essence, all you do is, as you can see, when it's full, it takes a lot of. But what we've got at the bottom here is, this is down here, this is a reservoir, and what it does is it collects any of the moisture that's in it, and it drains. You can have it drain down into that. So in essence, make a compost tea. So because you can make a compost tea, what you can then do is dilute it and use it as a liquid fertiliser, which I thought was quite an ingenious idea. So just thought, I didn't get on well with what the sort of a lot of people call Daleks. I just found it compacted too much. Whereas this, they reckon you can turn the compost in this in about 4 to 6 weeks. So we'll try it and we'll see what happens. Right, well that's about me. Sorry I've sort of prattled on a little bit. I think got to sort of get more confidence as the time's gone on, so hopefully in another few weeks we'll give you another one, tell you what I've been up to, show you progress, that. And thanks very much for watching.